Club Brugge 0, Arsenal 3, and a demolishing, really. A perfect game. Given the circumstances, given the players that rotated, given the squad, given the Villa loss, given everything, really. I think a perfect game. Well done by Mikel Arteta, well done by the players that played, and a big credit to a lot of players, especially shout out to Madueke and Martinelli for their amazing goals and some great performances all around the park. Some good players we got to see, got minutes, Jesus, Salmon, just everything perfect, man. So I'm just going to give my reaction in this video. Just jumped off the watch along with Watford done. Great, successful stream. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. I'm on the road to 2K subs. And give your comments down below. What do you think, man? First of all, who's your man of the match in this game? Because I'm going to give it to Nono. I think he was given the man of the match in the game. But his performance today was excellent, man. No Saka again in terms of giving some rest, which is good. And before I even get to Nono, let's give the lineup. The lineup came out, obviously you saw big, most notably, we saw Norgaard centre-back, which was interesting. Obviously a lot of fans were reacting to that. I think he was excellent today, first and foremost. Obviously we saw KAPE get the nod again, Calafuri on the bench, Ben White, Lewis Skelly, midfield three, the Sociedad three of Odegaard, Zubimendi and Marino, and the front three of Madueke, Gokrez and Martinelli. I think Norgaard was very calm and composed in possession, so was KAPE as well. I think aggressive in their challenges. See, Club Brugge, give credit to them in the first half. I think they've definitely posed also some threats, some good build-up play and good risky passing that I would say they're playing through our midfield. It proved to be a nice, open kind of basketball type of match, which was good for the neutral, was very entertaining. I think our midfield three worked very well together. I think the ball retention, the rotation between all three players, dropping into all sorts of positions and gaps was, great for this game and interesting to see. Different to how we've played before, in my opinion. And then obviously the front three, I think Madueke definitely the first half was the better of the three. I think Martinelli was quite poor in the first half, in my opinion. And I think Gokrez, albeit some of his hold-up play was way better in that first half. I think he kind of struggled to kind of, his box movement is a real worry, but we'll get into that. But Madueke was the one shining light, obviously getting the ball, beating his man, constantly frozen the threat. And his goal was probably candidate for goal of the season. I can't lie to you. Gets the ball, similar to that half space, picks up like how Saka picks up, drives inside, shrugs off a man, goes past the another one. And I'm thinking, okay, you should hit this, but when are you going to hit this? And he hits it quite early. Rocket of a shot, kind of side foots it, goes off the crossbar and obviously into the top corner. What a goal from Madueke. Obviously opening goal. That's 2 Champions League games, 2 goals for him. And this is what you want to see. And this is why I laughed when we signed him in the summer and guys were crying about why we spending £50 million on a player that probably is going to be Saka backup. This is why. So that you don't have to play Saka in every game. So that you can let Saka rest. So that you can let him recuperate. So that you can give him elite competition. And now Madueke, I think at the time, obviously, he hadn't scored that many goals. Still had a lot of raw parts of his game. And we've seen that this season. But being in a club like Arsenal, playing against a player like Saka, being coached by Mikel Arteta and other attacking players that you're going to be around, your quality is going to improve. And you're seeing that definitely this game, for sure. So obviously we get the 1-0 lead. Obviously Brugge kind of have a moment in that second half. For the first half after we get, the first goal, but then a couple of good strikes, a couple of good saves from Raya. I think, I can't remember the guy's name. The right winger for Brugge. I can't remember his name. I can't believe I was saying it, but great player. Very, very fast, very, very direct, very, very intent. And obviously he was causing problems and also kind of reshuffled and got a bit of control at the end of the second half and the first half, but no goal. And I was saying on the stream that we need to come out and score a goal early, and we did just that. Some great play from Zubimendi on the left-hand side. Just takes it into himself. Some great wing play, I even say. Takes it down the line. Lovely, lovely left-footed cross. Delightful cross over the keeper. Madueke anticipates where the ball's going to go. Literally has an open goal. Puts the header back in. So 2-0. And this is where the game was done. Brugge, second half, I can't lie. I'll say Arsenal made them look poor because in the first half they looked very good, but Arsenal dealt with them in that second half. And Martinelli came alive. As I said, he was poor in the first half. Also, we had no subs. Obviously, you have to think Trossard is injured or has injury worries. Obviously, the left wing position is open and Martinelli didn't start the game well. Maybe Mikel or someone whispered him and said, bro, you have 45 minutes to make your position your own, or boy, Nono will be playing there on Saturday type situation. And Nono probably will have an argument if Trossard's not fit to play there. So will Deze, who probably will play there. But Martinelli, man, second half, taking on his man, beating him constantly. It's like he realised, fam, I could do a little jinky and let me go. Space is in behind. Why am I wasting time with my dribbles? Why am I wasting dribbles? Why am I taking time with my touches? And he just started to constantly beat his man. constantly. And his goal comes from a bit of luck. Obviously, he didn't really beat him, but kind of knocks the ball around him and it kind of bounced back to Martinelli. But cuts in and whips it to the top corner outside the box. I haven't seen Martinelli score a goal like this since he first got signed. And I've said he's one of our best finishers. And to see him get a goal like this was very, very good. Very, very good for me. But to see both our wingers, you would say both our bench and B choice wingers scoring goals in that magnitude and in Champions League in the big game. And that's 5 goals in 5 Champions League games in a row for Martinelli now in the Champions League this season. Missed the Champions League for Arsenal, man. So 3-0 now, you're looking at it and saying, can we get some Jesus minutes? Can we get some Salmon minutes? Can we see some Wanyeri? Who else do we see? And we see Mikel make the changes. Brings on Calafiori for KAPE, lets him get some rest. Obviously, and then he brings on Jesus for Gyökeres. And I can't lie, Jesus, I've missed you, brother. I've missed you. Obviously, wish he scored. He had a lot more chances and he did a lot more in his minutes that he played than Gyökeres did all game, or even all game and this Villa game, in my opinion. And I'm not criticising Gyökeres, and I'll get onto Gyökeres. Jesus obviously has the ability to drift out wide and rotate and receive the ball. And obviously the game was way more stretched in the second half with Brugge being down 3-0. They're not a defensive team. And Arsenal were kind of carving them open. Obviously more subs came on. I think Saka came off for Madueke. So did Wanyeri for Odegaard. And Arsenal started to create a lot of chances. Obviously Jesus had a couple of shots, a couple of weak efforts into the keeper's hands from, some, I would say not clear-cut chances, but very good chances. Obviously had another chance. He cut in, hit the crossbar, was very unlucky. And I think he had another chance that was blocked, but had some great wing play, setting up Wanyeri for one of two of his chances. And just overall, just looked like Jesus in it. It was linking up well, balls zipping into him well, kind of linking it off well, playing it first time into gaps, and Arsenal were attacking and opening up the pitch, and then rotated with Martinelli, something that we used to see a lot in the 23-24 season, where Martinelli was going into that 9 position and Jesus would go out wide, very comfortable there. Something that we don't really naturally see from Gyökeres. He's more of a central striker. But my criticism of Gyökeres is his box movement. I think one thing we have to credit Havertz, you've got to credit Marino, and I guess you credit Jesus to an extent, even though he gets chances in different ways, the box movement. That they miss chances, or I guess more Havertz and Jesus miss chances because their finishing ain't great. And Marino scores these chances because his finishing is great. But Gyökeres doesn't make these chances. And obviously we see a lot of Arsenal fans giving him excuses and saying, oh, well, he doesn't get the ball, And I agree, he doesn't get the ball a lot, but balls get fed into the box. Your striker's got to make the movement. Your striker's got to get picked out. He doesn't really make, he's always kind of slow on his heels, always kind of waiting for the ball to him. And then when he does, sometimes the touch is a bit too heavy, or all those kind of things. I think his link-up play was better today, but him not getting strikes on goal is on him. You can't always just blame the service, because Jesus came on the pitch and got, 4, 5, 6 shots. I might be exaggerating, but at least 4 shots at least. Do you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, maybe he's not always going to be like a Jesus who's going to make his own chance. Maybe he's not getting the space in behind, or Arsenal playing the passes to him when he's making those runs in behind, or he's being tracked. But when this ball's out wide and then you've got the Madueke, your Martinellis, your Sakas, your Trossard, you've got to be able to make across the box. Your Ben Whites, your Calafioris, you've got to be able to make across the box, make some headers, make some easy ones, make some tap-ins, as well as obviously make some great runs that get found. I think it's all of that. But I think having competition in Jesus, having Havertz come back, I think is only going to push him to get better, push him to perform better, and I think push him to be better. Because now, you see Jesus, that little cameo, if he had scored, would have been even better. But now, you see he looks warm. If Gyökeres doesn't perform against Wolves on Saturday, Jesus comes off the bench, scores a goal, you could argue that he could get that shirt. He probably will start against Palace in the Carabao Cup and could end up owning that shirt if he does have a continuously, Jesus type of December. So, moving on from that, it's just quality FC. I'm happy to see most of the players very well. And then obviously big shout out to Marli Salmon getting his debut, 16 years old, came on for Ben White at the end. Obviously he's our top prospect in the academy, obviously just turned 16 recently. Amazing player. Obviously I like that he can be used both right back and obviously in the centre back position, but it's nice that he got his official Arsenal debut as well as Champions League debut in this game. Obviously he deserves it, and hopefully many more we'll see of him. Obviously that goes to where people were saying Mikel doesn't use young players, where he used so many young players this season, given so many debuts in the last couple of seasons. So, yeah, man. 3-0 win. Everything perfect. Hopefully, I don't think there's any injury worries, and I think we should hopefully have, maybe Saliba news, maybe we should have Rice. Timber wasn't playing this game, so we should have some players rested and recovered for the weekend and the week ahead. So, being your boy Cape, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. 3-0 to the Arsenal. Best goal of the game, Nonny's, but Martinelli's was close by. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Speak soon.